Welcome to Commercial Property Deep Dive by Eureka Business Group. In each episode, we break down the essentials of managing commercial properties with expert advice and actionable tips. Let's dive right in.
All right, so we're diving into something today that might not seem like the most thrilling thing at first glance. Industrial property management maintenance.
Yeah.
But stick with us because it's way more interesting than just, fixing leaky faucets in some giant warehouse.
Right.
We're going to uncover how thinking strategically about maintenance can be like a secret weapon, not just for businesses, but for, honestly, any system you can imagine.
Yeah. What people don't always get is that keeping these huge facilities running, it's like a mini version of keeping any complex operation going smoothly.
I like that.
The ideas we're going to pull from this article by EBG Commercial Management. These guys are pros. They really know their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And those ideas apply whether you're running a factory or managing a team or even just trying to keep your own life on track.
So we've got this article, The Importance of Regular Maintenance in Industrial Property Management, kind of laying the foundation for us. But let's not just stick to the basics here. What from this article really grabbed your attention?
Honestly, one of the most interesting points is how connected, well-maintained systems are to a place actually running efficiently. It's not just about avoiding breakdowns. It's like maximizing what you get out of the whole operation.
Right. So it's not just putting out fires. It's about preventing them in the first place.
Exactly. Imagine a manufacturing plant.
Okay.
A well-maintained HVAC system. It's not only keeping the workers comfortable, it makes sure those sensitive machines are running at the right temps, and it even protects the materials they've got stored.
You're right. It's way more than just fixing stuff. It's almost like you're giving preventative health care to the building and everything in it.
It's such a good analogy. And you know how if you ignore your health, it can lead to big medical bills down the line?
Oh, yeah.
The article makes a really strong point about the financial benefits of having a solid maintenance plan.
Okay, so you're saving money in the long run.
Big time. They point out that in a big industrial setting, every hour a place is shut down can cost a company thousands of dollars.
Oh.
Even tens of thousands per hour sometimes.
Okay, that's a serious number.
Uh-huh.
But hold on, doesn't all this preventative maintenance also cost a lot?
Yeah.
How do you balance that upfront cost with what you might save?
That's where things get strategic. The article argues that it's really about switching mindsets, going from, oh no, something broke, fix it, to more of a what can we do now so things don't break approach. So you're investing in regular inspections, cleaning, making those small repairs to prevent those massive breakdowns.
I see.
They actually mentioned this case study where a company cut their total maintenance costs by 20% just by getting ahead of things.
So it's like the old saying, a stitch in time saves 9. But in this case, that stitch could be saving a company millions of dollars.
Totally. And it's not even just about the money.
What else is there?
There's a huge safety aspect, too. This article, it emphasizes that regular maintenance is key for meeting all those safety regulations.
Right.
And that's not just about avoiding fines. It's about keeping the people who work there safe.
It's easy to forget. You think about industrial places and it's all concrete and steel. But there are people depending on those systems every single day.
Absolutely. The article gives some really powerful examples. Think about fire suppression systems.
Okay.
Regularly checking those. That can be the difference between a small incident and a total disaster. They also talk about making sure pathways are clear and the lighting is good so people don't trip and fall.
So it's like you're protecting the equipment, but also protecting people's livelihoods, their well-being. It adds a whole other level of responsibility to managing those properties.
For sure. And it goes even beyond just physical safety, too. The article actually mentions how a place being well-maintained, it can affect the workers' morale and how productive they are.
Right. So it's about the whole environment, not just the machines.
Yeah, if you're working somewhere clean, well-lit, comfortable, you're naturally going to be more focused. You're going to want to work harder.
Makes sense. I know I get distracted if my workspace is a mess or if the temperature's off. It's like this low-key drain on your energy you don't even realize.
Exactly. What they're saying is that a well-maintained property sends this message to employees, hey, the company cares about you.
I see.
And that can lead to people being more loyal and even taking more pride in their work. It's amazing how taking care of a property, keeping it in good shape, can have such a ripple effect.
Yeah.
It affects everything, from how the employees feel to how much money the company makes.
It really is like this web. Everything's connected.
Yeah.
Taking care of the physical space ends up taking care of the people and the business.
Exactly. And Speaking of taking care, let's get into the more practical stuff. How do you actually do this? Set up a good maintenance program.
Right, let's get down to the nuts and bolts. Where do you even start with something so massive, like an industrial property?
Well, the article says it all begins with a really solid plan.
Okay.
Think of it like a blueprint for keeping everything in perfect shape.
I like that.
So that includes knowing exactly what equipment and systems you've got, how each one needs to be maintained, and then a clear schedule for checking things and doing those preventative tasks.
So it's not just reacting when things break, it's more about thinking ahead.
Yeah. It's about anticipating those problems before they happen.
I get it.
They really emphasize moving away from just reacting to stuff breaking to a more proactive approach.
Proactive.
Scheduling those regular inspections, cleaning, lubrication, all those little things that can save you major headaches down the line.
It's like, going to the doctor for those regular checkups.
Yes.
You might feel totally fine.
Right.
But sometimes they catch things early on that could turn into big problems later.
Exactly. And just like a doctor keeps track of your medical history, they talk about how important it is to keep super detailed records of everything done to the property.
So like a logbook.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Every inspection, repair, every part that gets replaced. It's like building up a health history for the building itself.
I see. So you can see what's been done, but also maybe spot some patterns or even predict future issues. Is that where technology comes in?
Absolutely. The article talks about how technology is becoming so important in managing these properties.
Right.
There's software now designed specifically for tracking maintenance stuff.
Wow.
It generates reports and can even flag things that might become problems based on analyzing the data.
So you're not just relying on someone remembering to check the air filter every few months.
Yep.
You've got this whole system keeping tabs on everything, sending alerts when something needs attention.
Exactly. And these systems can do so much more.
Right.
They can manage inventory, track expenses, even optimize the schedule for when to do maintenance so it disrupts things as little as possible.
That's about being smarter, more efficient.
Totally. It's using technology to make the whole process better.
This is getting pretty high tech.
Mm-hmm.
It's less like a handyman's checklist and more like a control center keeping the entire place running.
That's a great way to put it. But even with all this fancy tech, they make a point of saying the human side is still super important. It's about creating this culture of caring about the property within the whole organization.
So it's not just having the right tools, but also having the right people and the right attitude.
You got it. They say property managers need to be clear with tenants about their responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to empower the maintenance staff to make decisions and even offer training to keep everyone's skills up to date.
It sounds like almost like building a team
Right.
where everyone knows their part and they care about making the whole property a success.
That's a great insight. It's about going beyond just telling people what to do and making everyone feel like they're a part of it.
So we've got our plan, we've got the technology, we've got the team. Is there anything else?
Well, the article mentions this thing that's often forgotten. A well-maintained property. It shouldn't just work well, it should look good too. They talk about the importance of keeping up the visual appeal of a building.
Wait, so we're not just talking about the inner workings, but also how it looks from the outside, even for an industrial place.
Exactly. Think about it. If you're a potential client or investor, seeing a well-maintained property, it sends this message of professionalism, attention to detail.
I see.
It shows that you care about what you've got and you're in it for the long haul.
So it's like a subtle marketing tactic.
Yeah.
The condition of your property speaks volumes about how you do business.
That's a great point. And it's more than just appearances. It's about the employees, too. Working in a clean, well-kept space that can make them feel proud.
Mm-hmm.
It can help create a more positive work environment.
It's like that, what is it, the broken window theory. If you let little things go, it creates this atmosphere where nobody cares as much.
Yeah.
But if you've got those high standards, it sets the tone for everything.
Exactly. It's about creating a culture where everyone takes responsibility for the property.
Right.
And that brings us back to this idea of a maintenance mindset. It's not just about fixing what's broken. It's about constantly improving, being proactive, taking care of any system.
So it's not just about buildings.
Yeah.
It could be a team. It could even be your own life.
Exactly. That's what's so cool about this topic. It goes beyond just property management. It's about understanding how to create and maintain systems that can thrive over time.
We've covered a lot, from the details of those maintenance plans to how it affects businesses, even personal growth. But before we go too far down that road, let's bring it back to reality for a minute. Are there any companies out there that are actually doing this well?
You know, one that comes to mind is XYZ Manufacturing.
Okay.
They set up this program called predictive maintenance, where they use sensors and data analysis to keep tabs on their equipment in real time.
Real time. That's impressive.
It is. It lets them see problems coming and do maintenance before anything actually breaks down.
So they're basically using data to predict the future of their equipment.
Exactly. And it's not just about the technology either.
Right.
They've invested a lot in training their people and creating that culture of ownership we were talking about.
So they've got the tech, the systems, and the right people. It's like a well-oiled machine, literally.
And the results are amazing. They've cut down on maintenance costs, they're more productive, and their employees are happier. That's a win-win-win.
That's a great example of how thinking strategically about maintenance can really pay off. But it's not just for giant companies, right?
Nope.
Any business can benefit from this.
Absolutely. Even if you don't have a huge factory, you can still use that proactive mindset. It's about taking the time to look at your systems, figure out what might go wrong, and then make a plan to prevent it.
This has been so insightful. We went from leaky faucets to the future of industrial property management. And it's clear that keeping these places running is more than just wrenches and grease. It takes strategy, technology, and a lot of looking ahead. But we're not done yet. In Part 3, we're going to go even deeper into the future. We'll explore some of the trends in tech that are shaping the world of maintenance.
Stay tuned. Things are going to get really interesting.
Okay, so we're back and ready to really get into the future of industrial property management.
Yeah, let's do it.
The last couple parts, we talked about like having that smart strategy for maintenance and how tech is becoming like a bigger and bigger part of it all. But I have a feeling things are about to get even more interesting.
You're telling me what we're seeing now is like all these cutting edge technologies coming together.
Oh, wow.
And it's going to totally change how we even think about maintenance. It's not just about fixing stuff anymore. It's more about like predicting problems and then preventing them before they happen.
That sounds kind of like sci-fi almost.
I know, right?
But, okay, break it down for me. One thing I hear a lot is predictive maintenance. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, predictive maintenance is huge. Imagine you've got sensors all over the place in the building and the equipment.
Okay.
And they're constantly watching, collecting data on everything like temperature, vibration, how much energy something's using, how well it's performing.
So it's almost like giving the building a nervous system.
Yes.
It like feel when something's not right.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really cool. All that data, it goes into these really advanced software programs.
Okay.
They use algorithms, machine learning, all that, to look for patterns and predict when something might break down.
So you're not just seeing like, oh, this machine's running hot.
Nope.
You're actually understanding what that means in the big picture for how healthy the machine is and when it might need attention.
You got it. It's moving from, oh no, it's broken, fix it, to we know this is going to happen, so let's handle it before it's a problem.
I love that.
Like, imagine getting an alert, hey, this motor's probably going to fail in 3 weeks. That gives you time to order parts, schedule when you're going to take it offline, and avoid this whole expensive, unplanned shutdown.
That's incredible. It's like having a crystal ball for your whole facility.
It kind of is.
So what other tech is changing the game here?
Well, we can't talk about the future without mentioning the Internet of Things, IoT.
Right, IoT.
Remember all those sensors we talked about? IoT is what connects them all together, creates this huge network of data points covering the entire property.
So it's not just individual machines being monitored, it's like whole systems, maybe even the whole building all talking to each other.
Exactly. Think HVAC systems, lighting, security, how energy's being used. It can all be tied into one platform. So you get this complete picture of how the building's doing.
Okay, this is where it gets really futuristic for me. So we've got sensors, data, algorithms.
Are we going to start seeing robots in these places too? I got to ask.
You're not too far off, actually.
Automation is definitely becoming more common. We're already seeing robots and drones being used for things like those routine inspections, cleaning, even some basic repairs.
So picture this. Robots crawling through air ducts, drones flying around checking for roof leaks.
Exactly. And that means those human technicians, they can focus on the more complicated stuff, the things that need a person's skill and problem solving. Plus, it's safer because you don't need people working in those dangerous spots as much.
It's like you're creating this team of human experts and robot experts, each doing what they're best at to keep everything running.
That's a great way to think about it. And it goes even further than that.
Oh, how so?
We're also seeing augmented reality, AR being used for maintenance.
AR, like the stuff you see in video games.
Kinda. Imagine a technician wearing these special glasses, and they can see real-time data and instructions right there on top of whatever they're working on.
So they could be looking at this super complicated piece of equipment
Yeah.
and see step-by-step instructions on how to fix it.
Exactly. Or even get help from an expert somewhere else who can see what they're seeing and guide them through it.
That's wild. It's like having a virtual mentor right there with you.
Exactly. And that means fewer mistakes, faster repairs. It makes even those tough jobs easier to handle.
It seems like we're heading towards this future where maintenance is less about reacting when things break and more about solving problems before they even happen.
Yeah.
All thanks to data and these incredible new technologies.
And it's not just about saving money and being more efficient.
What else?
These technologies, they can also make workplaces safer, more environmentally friendly, and honestly, even more rewarding for the people working there.
This whole journey into the future of industrial property management has been amazing. I never thought something like maintenance could be so fascinating and so forward-thinking.
It's proof that innovation can happen anywhere, even in the places you'd least expect. And those core ideas we talked about, taking care of things proactively, using data to make smart choices, constantly trying to improve, those can apply to so much more than just buildings.
That's a great point. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to encourage everyone listening, think about the systems in your life, your home, your work, even your health.
Yeah,
What could you optimize if you had that maintenance mindset?
I like that. If we all use these principles, we can create better, stronger, and honestly more fulfilling systems in everything we do.
This has been such a great conversation. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of industrial property management. And until next time, keep exploring, keep innovating, and remember, a little preventative maintenance goes a long way.
Thanks for tuning in to Commercial Property Deep Dive by Eureka Business Group. We hope you enjoyed today's insights. Don't forget to subscribe for more expert tips and real stories to help you navigate the world of commercial property management. Until next time, keep thriving.